for you, for your success. It's up to you. Okay, I can't come and carry you. We can push a little bit, I can hold your hand, but it is up to you. And I want you to know that we are going to be doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales. We built this company before it was ever opened, before the first product was sold, with that in mind. It's all built, okay? We are going to have distributors making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. It is just math. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, okay? And I can say that with absolute certainty. Now, you might look at everything that there is and think, how am I ever going to do all this? How am I going to learn about the products and be as good a speaker as everybody? And how am I going to just grab onto all this and make it work? And I'll give you a really simple tip. Talk to your upline. Okay, have them help you. They're there to help you. In fact, little secret, they need to help you because your success is critical to their success. That's another cool thing we built in our comp plan. None of us can do it alone. If you think you can, sorry. Okay, we're in this together. The more we help each other grow, then the more that will happen for everybody. And again, the absolutes. Make sure these are done every day. Do not fill your day up with fluff and stuff. Okay, talk to, and I put 3, but however many people you want to talk to a day. All right. Follow up with people every single day that you've talked to previously that it just wasn't their right time with Xyngular. Call into the weekly meetings. Have weekly meetings, call into the weekly calls, but do the things that will educate you, drive you, make you more effective, and help you help other people more effectively. That's what it's all about. You do that, and you're good to go. Now again, that's a big job, right? And some people they're shocked into immobility, I like to say. They don't do anything. And I wonder often why that is. And I sometimes wonder if it's because they can't break it down into small, manageable parts. You guys have heard the saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? Okay, so true. Another thing that I was taught at home when I was growing up. My dad, out of 1,000 acres, 1,100 acres he farmed, 500 of them were irrigated by siphon tubes, which basically means every 18 inches on all 500 acres there's a furrow, and there's a ditch of water at the top of the field, and this metal tube that goes from the ditch down into the furrow that takes the water down to the crops, okay? All fine and dandy except that some little boy has to go lay out all the tubes. And 2 little boys, as a tractor comes to the top of the field where the ditch is, it has the cultivator on the back that digs the furrows, comes up to the ditch, what does he have to do? Stop, lift up the cultivator, turn around, set the cultivator down and go again. So you got like 12 feet here that aren't furrowed out. And probably about 1 or 2 feet on the next pass that aren't furrowed out where he started at the top. Again, you know, got to keep a bunch of boys busy, don't you? So my dad would toss us shovels and tell us, okay, go dig out A1 or whatever, and we'd have to go dig all these furrows. Now there was one field on my dad's farm that we absolutely hated. Number one, it was about a ½ mile long, okay? So it seemed when you're this tall to go on forever. Number two, it was bad dirt, so it was always really, really hard. And for some reason, for the 18 years that I was there, every time I had to go dig out that field, it was at least 100 degrees. I don't know how that worked out, but it was hot every single time. So my dad and my brother and I would get down to that field, and my brother and I would look a ½ mile down here and just think, oh, we were in instant bad mood, you know? Do we really have to do this? My dad would stand there for a minute, and he'd look at the field, and he's like, well, let's do this job. Another famous saying. He'd get the shovel off his shoulder, and he'd start digging. And we'd dig and 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 dig, and never going anywhere. You're looking at the end of the field, and you're not any closer than you were 2 hours ago, okay? And so we were, again, a little bit of a not the best attitude at that point. And so my dad, again, taught us a very important thing. He said, son, he said, don't look all the way down the field at what you have to do. He said, look back at what we've done. Look at all that we've done. We've gone clear from the beginning to here. And he'd say, just, you know, be happy that we're this far. And dig for a while, and look back at how much farther you are. And keep doing that all the way down the field. And I found that that worked really, really well. That sense of accomplishment of getting those things done and looking at what you have done rather than what there was to do gave us the strength to push through the heat and the thirst and the sweat and the blisters and everything else that went along with digging out this field. And eventually we would be done. We would be at the end, and we'd walk back the ½ mile across this field looking at every single furrow, every 18 inches apart, all laid out, ready to take water to the crops. And it was a great sense of accomplishment. Okay? But again, look at and enjoy your accomplishments. It's an important thing to do. Again, we're going to build a massive company, and the only reason you're not going to succeed is if you quit. If you keep going, you will be successful. There's story after story of people who have worked and worked and worked and couldn't find that extra leader that they needed, but finally that person was found. and they were able to see the growth and the success they wanted to see. Slow growth and plateaus are going to happen in your business. It's not all peel, fairy tales, and rainbows, okay? You're going to have hard days, you're going to have plateaus, you're going to have days when things don't go right. But remember that those periods of slow growth and plateaus are an opportunity for you to develop yourself. Again, a very critical part of what we do is developing ourselves. Also, practice looking at the positives. My grandma is 92 years old. She lives in a rest home, okay, since her husband died. She's been there. And we go visit her every other week. And my kids love it. And I love to go there and just look at everybody, look at the people. And it's very interesting to me that as we walk through the halls and there's people doing different things, that some of them you just want to go up and give a hug. I mean, they just look so happy and you're just, you know, it's grandma, I love them. And other people, I mean, literally, they look like they're sucking on a prune and my kids are like, whoa, you know? Okay? What's the difference? Attitude. It's 80 or 90 years of looking at either the positives or the negatives in your life. Okay? Everybody has both, right? Okay? But what are you focusing on? Focus on the good. Focus on the fun. Focus on the things that are positive. And you will have, number one, a lot happier life, but you'll end up with the smiley one and getting hugs from kids, strangers. Okay? And then keep track of and celebrate and remember the accomplishments. That is something that is so critical as we go through life, because each one of us have a little voice in our head that tells us what? You're not good enough, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to it. Focus on the positives, focus on the things that go well in your life, you'll have a lot happier life. And again, it doesn't matter how fast you move, it just matters that you're moving. Okay? Don't ever quit. And enjoy. This is a fun time of our company's existence. It's a fun time of your life. I want you to enjoy. Because I want you to know, and I know, that this time is a time when stories will be written that for decades to come will motivate people to excel. Okay? They're going to talk about ordinary people because they weren't extraordinary. They did extraordinary things. And ordinary people's names are going to become legends. And think about that in 10 years when they're talking about Xyngular and all these people that did amazing things, okay? And it'll be your names. That's exciting. Now, one thing that I know is that a company is only as great as its people. We're, as ourselves, we're nothing. We're only as great as every single one of you, and we are a direct reflection of every single one of you. Be the best people you can be. Never forget who you are. Never forget where you come from. Never forget what is truly important to you. You can make all the money in the world, but it could be hollow, okay? And stay humble. That's another very, very important thing. I want us to all stay humble. No matter what happens in our lives, I want us to stay humble. Okay? It's critical. And always remember that this life's journey and this singular journey are best taken and shared with those people that you love. Bring them along. Make them a part of what you do. A great man, a man that I admire, once said, "What good is it to work and reach the peak of so-called human achievement if you look around and find that you are all alone, having sacrificed everything that was near and dear to you to get there?" That is a hollow victory. How much better it is to bring those you love along on the journey to enjoy the achievements and the view from the top together. Okay, think about that. What is truly important to you. Share it with those people that you love. That was great advice 10 years ago. It's great advice now. Okay, something that I try and live by. A man who advice is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is the third richest man in the world, not just America, but the world. $47 billion. I can't imagine that much, but it's a lot. $47 billion. Now, Warren could afford literally whatever he wants, right? Anything he wanted, he can afford. However, he's lived in the same house for 40 years. He's never owned a car worth more than $100,000. He knows that the things that are truly important in life are who you are, your loved ones, and also how you care for others. Okay? And as an indicator of that, he has said that when he dies, the vast majority of his fortune is going to go to charity. He said that he will leave his kids enough that they can do whatever they want in life, but not enough that they can do nothing. Now that was smart. Okay? That's a man who has everything in place, right? So again, as you progress, as we live our lives, remember to develop yourself. The more effective you are at helping other people, the more good you're going to do in the world. Okay? Also, spend time with those you love, because then you can enjoy those close, special relationships. Find joy in the little things